The road is the same. More dirt trail made by wagons, and more cornfields lined with tall grass. Crows call in the distance, and scarecrows stand silent vigils over crops. As you stare at the scarecrow, you notice an eerie yellow flash of light in its eye. Filled with paranoia, you throw your hand axe at the scarecrows. You miss. And now you know the only way to get your axe back is to venture into the tall corn stalks. Cutting your losses, you continue down the road until you need to make camp for the night. The night is uneventful. It is now your turn to take up watch. You hear rustling in the bushes. You go out to investigate, spear in hand. You find hay on the floor. Knowing you are now being stalked, you go to wake the party, but it is too late. Scarecrows descend from above with a very familiar axe in hand. Roll for initiative.
Holy shit, that is how you start an encounter. Hey guys, I'm Carlos Rivera, and you guys are watching VolcanicKnight. Here, I actually review products that I have used in my D&D games, and I give you my honest opinion about them all. And today, it brings me great joy to talk about Nerdarchy's out-of-the-box encounters. I'm going to talk about how I use this book, and how I modify them to make each encounter my own. Could you tell what was improvised and what was not improvised? This book contains 55 encounters, including ones from Jacob Butts from Level 3 to XP, and Guy Sklanders from How to Be a Great Game Master. It's even endorsed by Matt Mercer. The hard book starts off at $49.99 and the PDF starts off at $24.99. Every encounter comes with an introduction, the description of the encounter, and the complication section. What I like most is the fact that the introduction feels like you're having a one-on-one conversation with the guys. The description section feels like a utility belt full of information. Not only does it go over things that will happen in the encounter, but it goes over some possibilities that could turn the story in a different direction. I'm convinced every book should have a complication section now. Yeah, when your plan is working, it works, but most supplementary material doesn't go over what to do if something goes wrong. Now let's talk about how to make these encounters unique. This encounter takes place in between towns while traveling. If you want to keep it as a combat encounter, you can use the encounter just as is. But let's turn this into a social encounter instead now. Maybe the scarecrow is supposed to animate to the first living thing it sees and then deliver a message for help. Making this tiny change, you can actually spawn a whole brand new encounter. So for my group, the very moment I mentioned the word scarecrow, they immediately did not trust anything that was happening at that point forward. They spent a lot more time than I thought they would poking, prodding the scarecrows and trying to check them out. I knew I couldn't spring the trap right then and there, so I waited until night fell when they were at their most vulnerable, and to reassure them they were right the whole time. But it doesn't have to be that way in your game. The random factor of your players guarantees that no two people will do the same things. This book inspired me to make 2 encounters that I turned into YouTube shorts. One about an owlbear and the other one about Fluffles. But until then, catch you guys later.